Hi, I'm Mike.
Hey, it's Tom.
Kieran.
And I'm Nick, and this is the best running shoes of the year 2020. So all of us have tested like absolutely loads of shoes this year. We're not going to do like an exhaustive run through of all like the shoes we've tested. What we're going to do is tell you the ones that have made it into our shoe rotations and why. Basically, we'll tell you what kind of runner we are, what we use, the particular 3 shoes we've chosen for, and why they make it into our quiver. And we'll be using the word quiver a lot. All right, Kieran, you're first. What kind of runner are you? What have you been doing this year in this strange year?
So it's been a bit of an odd one. I would normally be probably training for a marathon, trying to do somewhere around sub 3. So that would be a lot of stuff on the track, a lot of speed work with long distance running. And I throw in the odd ultra at that. Really this year, because there's been no races, I've been training for a mountain race called the Lavaredo in 2021. And that has meant really quite a lot of just grinding out long runs and then keeping my legs ticking over.
Fair enough. So as your shoe rotation differs much from last year, let's see what you've gone for. Last year, I think on the video you had the Vaporfly,
I think I had the original Rincon. And I
the Nike Pegasus Trail, I think you had, yeah. So this year, what have you gone for?
So this year I've got a couple of, there's one shoe we might as well cover off really quickly. I've kept in there. It's still my favourite race shoe. And when I do eventually get back to racing, the Next Percent, Vaporfly Next Percent are really just a shoe I will pick up for many reasons that we've already spoken about on this channel before. It's light, it's fast, it's comfortable, it has the most pop. It just is my race shoe, despite the other ones that have come out.
Yeah, so this year there's been a lot coming out, but you're still sticking with the Vaporfly ahead of the one. You tried the Adios, you tried the New Balance Fuelcell RC Elite, you're still Vaporfly.
Still Vaporfly.
Fair enough. And then you have also selected the Rincon 2 this time. I haven't got it with you. Yeah, love it so much, left it in the forest.
I keep it in a special cabinet.
so the Rincon 2 didn't change much from the Rincon 1, has it, really?
It's essentially the same shoe. There's a few small tweaks to the uppers, but you can barely tell them apart really. You put them side by side. And I just think it's still a fantastic run. It's a really easy shoe to run in. It has a bit of speed. It has a bit of versatility. It's super comfortable, nice wide in the toe box. It's very light. And I just find it a very easy shoe to pick up if I'm not sure what my run is going to entail.
Interesting. So you kind of view that as a kind of an all-rounder shoe, which I guess a lot of people would see the Saucony Ride, which is your third pick, the 13, as a similar. So what do you use the Ride for as opposed to the Rincon, really?
Yeah, I honestly will just choose those two. We differ here because I feel like these ones can take me a little bit faster.
Yeah.
I think maybe faster over sort of maybe longer distances.
Right.
So I'll use these if I'm going to do something maybe over sort of 14, 15 miles.
Yeah.
I did the New Forest Marathon in these.
Which is a trail marathon as well.
Which is a trail marathon. Yeah. And just to have a little bit more kind of support and comfort there in these shoes. Again, they are very similar shoes, but that matches the way that I've been running this year. I've got 2 shoes on the go because I'm often doing probably more sloppy running than you are.
So I guess, this year you have been maybe doing the odd race, which you might pick out the Vaporfly or you might pick out one of these, but you've been basically racking up miles, going out for a lot of runs where you're not thinking about pace, so you just want a nice shoe that you can kind of do anything with, I guess.
Yeah, and if I need to pick it up a bit, I can. And I think these have that versatility. They're very, at the end of that marathon, I was running pretty slow, pretty heavy-legged, and they were happy at that. But times when I've taken them out, I've done a sort of slightly quicker 10K, they can also pick up. I would kind of put them almost on line with the Rincon 2.
So just 2 very great, really good, versatile shoes. People who only have one shoe instead of having a whole rotation could use either of those for everything, really.
Absolutely, I think those 2 shoes, if you've only got one, go for those.
Fantastic. Nice one. Tom, you're up. What's kind of year? It's been a big year for running, big year of moving. You've joined a running club first time. You're hitting track every week. You're basically getting serious to try and catch Kieran's PBs, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I'm not far off. So it's been a bit of a good year for speed, really. I've been kind of picking up the pace quite a bit since the start of the year. I don't really know how fast I am at the moment because there's no races, but that's kind of my main focus at the moment.
But you have PB'd on your short distances and a half marathon this year, I think, right?
I've got 3 PBs this year, which I didn't really expect to get, but hopefully that will continue until Kieran's taken down.
Lovely. So last year you had the Vaporfly, the On Cloud something.
Swift, Cloud Swift.
Okay. And what was your other shoe?
And it was the Mizuno Wave Skyrise.
Fair enough. And this year, one's still here. Obviously, we've already talked about it, but you're still racing in Vaporfly, right?
Well, I'd say still racing in it. I actually, last year, I had never tried a Vaporfly, but I picked this up probably about a month before lockdown started. So I've done a couple of races in it, both PBs. And I mean, instantly, I just realised how good they are. Yeah. I kind of heard people talking about Vaporfly before, thinking it can't be that good really, but it is. And I've probably only used it about 4 times this year so far, but every time has just been, you know, a great race.
And you were one of the guys hovering over the buy button for the Alphafly at a recent launch. Have you tried them out yet?
No, I'm saving the Alphafly. I don't want to waste it on a training run. So okay. As soon as I think I've actually got a race that's meant to be coming up in a few weeks. So yeah. I think that might be a time for the Alphafly. But
at the moment, you're still.
I'm sticking with this one for the moment, yeah.
Fair enough. And then this is a shoe I love as well, the New Balance Fuelcell TC. What do you use this for, really?
So the Fuelcell TC is a really interesting one because I wasn't quite sure what to make of it when I first started wearing it. It's actually, in many ways, quite similar to the Vaporfly in terms of how it feels, in terms of the bounce. I tend to use the TC for when I want to really enjoy a nice fast run. So I'm not massively into using carbon plated shoes for training. Okay. But if I really want to go out and enjoy a run, I want to go a bit faster, and often when I don't really want to go for a run and I need something to kind of give me a bit of a impetus to actually go out there, Fuelcell TC is my go-to every time, and I really just feels great running in it. It just feels really nice.
It's lovely. It's like, it's obviously the training partner to the RC. It's got the same foam though, Fuelcell, probably tweaked a little bit. It's got a carbon plate. It's very high stack. It's much more comfy, I think, than a full racer, like the Vaporfly. I've racked up a lot of miles in it as well, but yeah, it's a lovely shoe for training, and you could probably race in it. I think a lot of people could be happy.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I've not actually tried to race in it yet, but I mean, I'm thinking about picking up another pair of these because I just like it so much.
I gave some to Kieran, I've never seen those again. And then for your last shoe, another shoe I really like, it's the Glycerin 18, just an all-out comfortable shoe, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I just use this for all those runs where I just want to go out and just feel good, really. I'm not really that bothered about speed in them. But whether I'm doing a recovery run for 20 minutes or if I'm going out for a 3-hour run, it just does the job every time. And it's just so comfy and nice, and never have any problems at all with it. That's good.
So you've logged quite a lot of miles in these. Some people wonder, basically, it's got that amazing step-in comfort. Has it lost any of that over miles so far for you?
No, it's still my go-to shoe. I mean, I've got a lot of shoes in my cupboards, but I'm wearing this whenever I get the opportunity to, and when I'm not using the Fuelcell TC, this is my go-to.
Yeah, this is a great shoe. I think it's a shoe I recommend to lots of people, especially if you just want something comfortable, especially maybe even marathon training and just want to get over the finish line. I think there's very few shoes that are better than that.
Yeah.
Nice one.
So Nick, no races this year, even though you were training very, very hard to hit a fast marathon.
Yeah.
So what's that meant for your year?
So I kind of switched focus. I have done some races since lockdown, but I basically switched focus to short stuff, really. I had a bit of niggles at the start of the year, so my mileage was fairly low. So the whole year I've not really, I've only been doing like 40, 50 miles a week max kind of thing. So I haven't really done a lot of long, easy miles. I have done a lot of short stuff, and I've PB'd over 5K in the last week or so, and that was basically the thing I really wanted to do this year. Got under sub 16 finally, and that's really been the aim. So it hasn't been a lot of marathon training, really.
And won the New Forest Marathon 10K, I think.
Won that one, yeah, won that. That was a trail marathon, so none of those shoes are here. But yeah, that was just a nice little bonus based off 5K speed work, really, I think.
Good. So talk us through your pick of the shoes this year now.
So let's start with, I think, the big one, a little bit of discussion here. So I am moving over to the Alphafly from the Vaporfly, which has been my go-to. I've now got, I think, 3 of my 4 PBs are in the Vaporfly. No, all of my PBs are still in the Vaporfly. I haven't really done anything in the Alphafly yet. I like it basically more. I think I get more from it. The slightly more poppy forefoot with these Air Zoom pods, I think, helps me a lot. I didn't like it at all when I first put it on, really. As soon as I started running fast in it, it felt amazing. And I do think this will be a really, really good marathon and half marathon shoe in particular. Maybe you could stick with the Vaporfly on 5 and 10K, but this is probably going to be my go-to for everything in the long run, I think.
My experience of it is a little different. I guess I haven't probably run as many miles in it as you, so maybe I need to run more, but I have trouble getting my foot into it for a start, which is a big problem for me. But I kind of guess I just didn't feel that quite as natural underfoot.
It's more of a weird shoe, definitely. It takes a bit of getting used to. Even Bekele didn't want to use it in London Marathon, said he wasn't used to it. So I think that's interesting. Basically, I've tried all of the carbon shoes this year that have come out, and a lot of them are very, very good. I think the New Balance Fuelcell RT Elite is very good, the closest to Nike I've come across. And then the Saucony is good, the Brooks is great. I like the Adios. But I still think Nike the best. I think if you already have a Vaporfly, I probably wouldn't go out and buy this. That's what I'd say. But if you were going to pick one now, I'd get the Alphafly myself. I think especially if you're a marathon runner, that's where it's really going to shine. And I think Nike's still just ahead of the pack, despite everyone getting a lot closer this year.
Okay, so what's next? What else have you got in there?
So the Saucony Endorphin Speed, I think, is a good case of saying, even in a year of incredible shoe releases of carbon shoe, this is probably, I think, the best all-round shoe release this year. It is designed to be a fast training shoe. It has a nylon plate in it, or a carbon composite plate, a nylon plate, I think. It's very much similar to the Saucony Endorphin Pro in every other way. It's got the same kind of PBA-based Power Run PB foam, speed roll technology to roll you from heel to toe. Very comfy, still very light. I've got the Pro as well. It is a little bit quicker and stiffer because of the plate, but this is the shoe I'd pick of those if you're going to buy one. I use this for everything, basically. I think this is quite a comfortable, easy day shoe, even though it is designed to be a fast trainer, and it's very quick. This week alone, I put it through 2 sessions already and just enjoyed both. It's comfy, it's quick, it protects your foot in a way a stiff carbon plate doesn't.
And I guess that's one thing that's quite a distinction about the way that you run. At the moment, you run very targeted sessions. Each of your sessions is mapped out and coached. Exactly. You know exactly what you're going to do. So you're kind of laser picking shoes for each of those sessions, right?
Exactly, yes. And that's what this made this shoe really shine, in that when I have, so most weeks, I'll be doing some kind of intervals on the track, and a steady kind of tempo-ish run, a long run with set paces, normally getting quite quick by the end. And this shoe will do it all. And also when I've got my half-hour easy run in between those, I just knock this on. I think it's fine. I think if you're only buying one shoe for your whole rotation out there right now, there's no better choice than the Endorphin Speed. I think it'll be quick enough to race in as well. I just really like it. It's my shoe I'll pull on all the time, really, without really thinking about it.
Nice. And your final pick?
So this is the one I struggle with the most. I don't have 2 Nikes for one. Basically, this is the Nike, as in Pegasus 37. I've not liked the Pegasus shoe, apart from I love the turbo. I haven't liked the actual Pegasus for a few years. This year they stuck a load of React foam in, which I really like. Some people don't find it too heavy, but I think it's really comfortable. It's bouncy. The reason I like this shoe, so I haven't done a huge amount of lots of really easy long runs this year. Most of the time I'm working to a reasonable pace just because I'm not doing huge mileage. But when I have, I really like this shoe, and I really like the fact it's got a lot of grip on the outsole. So I use this throughout the forest all summer. Even now it's okay in the forest, getting a little bit sloppy out there, but I haven't moved to a full trail shoe yet. And I think it's just a workhorse for a shoe that can do a lot in, and it has got a bit of speed in it. Like, I've done tempo runs in this fine. I think it's a good, decent all-round option. But I think it's just, it's a nice, comfortable shoe to pull on. I think it's better for me than something like the Brooks Glycerin or even the Ryde. I think it's got a bit more pace in it, so I do think it's more versatile. And it's just a fun shoe to run in. But I haven't done a huge amount of easy runs. When I go into the forest later this year, I probably won't be able to use it now because it's getting too muddy. But all summer, it's carried me through every run. I've done it very comfortably.
Nice.
So that's my rotation.
Great.
My quiver.
Thank you.
Mikey, a bit different to the rest of us in times your runs you like.
I am a bit different, yeah.
So tell us what kind of runner you are, what you've been up to this year.
So my year's been very interesting. Obviously, beginning of the year, I was getting a lot quicker. The end of last year, and I had one race in January. Hit a really good half marathon time. Wanted to do sub 130. I did sub 130. Came back. Got very ill, had COVID. That's kind of, that wiped me out for quite a long time. So for me, it's just been getting back into running, really, because it was a massive struggle to just actually run. Getting back to a kind of comfortable pace, and no real structure, no training, but just going out running and running as much as I can, really. And obviously did the New Forest 10k. With yourself and Kieran, and that was kind of good to fit in. So mainly just getting back out running, enjoying it, and trying to get back up to some respectable speeds, I think. So
now Tom's left you in his dust. So you're a bit different to the rest of us. You are traditionally a barefoot runner, basically. So you test a lot of shoes with us as well, and you obviously like some of them. But you would normally, let's start with this guy as is this kind of your
go-to? So this is pretty much what I run in for most stuff. So this is what I do my training runs. This is what I race with. So this is the Merrell Vapor Glove, and it's not the latest one. So this is the 3. The latest one is the 4. I try and buy as many
of these because, yeah, I mean, it's hard to get hold of. But for me, it just works for pretty much all of my sessions. I like a very kind of sock-like design, and some of the other minimalist shoes are growing up in terms of material and the upper you get. But for me, this feels kind of, it really locks you in. I can run quick in it. I find it really comfortable, and it lasts a long time in terms of mileage. So yeah, this is the shoe that I pretty much run most of my sessions in.
And you do it on all surfaces. What kind of soles has it got?
So for trail, I would move over to the Merrell Trail Glove, which I think gives you a bit more. I mean, I think you could run on trails with this, but I wouldn't, and I would predominantly run on road with these. And yeah, I have no problems in terms of grip, and you got your technique right. I mean, you can run pretty quick in these. So that's my main shoe.
So obviously the Ryde 13 is something Kieran's. It's a very different shoe to this. So explain how this has worked its way into your rotation.
Yeah. So obviously I've probably run in a few less shoes than the rest of the team, but the shoes that kind of stood out that I have had access to, these are the ones that have kind of really stood out for me, and I've actually gone back to. So the Ryde 13, I think it's one where. If I didn't want to run in these, I wanted a little bit more cushion, or I couldn't find these, and I just wanted to run.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to get out there, and I want a little bit of speed. This is a shoe that I would go, and there's no pressure to kind of run hard and fast in these shoes, and I think that's what I like about them. I mean, this colour is ridiculous, but
yeah, not a fan.
But yeah, I just think it's a really versatile shoe. I think it's we've talked about it being a really good daily trainer shoe, and that's definitely something that I found. And even though I run in a kind of more minimalist kind of shoe, this is one I think, if you want that more, I wanted that more cushioning, this is a shoe that I would go for. So yeah, kind of a versatile running shoe, I'd say.
Nice. And you, I think sometimes people wonder about this. You don't have any problems going from minimal drop to slightly higher drop. You're okay with that with your legs. I know some people sometimes struggle. But
yeah, I think with some of the shoes, I have kind of struggled to go back, and I think it's taken me time to transition back to that extra. Okay. But I think some of the newer shoes, I think have done a better job in terms of offering that fit that I prefer with this kind of shoe. And yeah, I think you're seeing that more. So I think there's a bit more of a balance. But there are some shoes where I just struggle to kind of get back into, and I'll feel that extra weight you do get from kind of the bigger shoes. So, but yeah, that's one that I've not really struggled with from that perspective. So,
and then finally, a shoe we've all used, we've all loved. It's the Asics Metaracer. This is the Tokyo edition, which is why it looks so bloody good. Mike, why do you like this shoe so much?
Yeah, me personally, I do. Bit subject, but yeah, I mean, I love the look of the shoe anyway, first and foremost. But it's a shoe that it took me a while to kind of get used to and really enjoy. And I like running quick in this shoe. I think it's a great shoe when I have been able to get to a track. It's a good shoe, I think, for track sessions. Of the carbon shoes that I have tested, this is the one that's really stood out for me. I think I like the fact you've got quite a racing shoe, kind of flat style in terms of design. It's really light. I mean, I'm not sure about this cooling port thing.
It's a USB port,
I don't think it does anything. But for me, in terms of the carbon shoes that I have tested, this is the one that I've been comfortable to go back to, and I've actually really enjoyed running in, and I think you can run quick in these. And actually, if I wasn't running in this and I wasn't racing in this, I would consider racing kind of some shorter distances in this shoe. And yeah, I've just really enjoyed running in it every time. So
it's got a few different features to most carbon shoes as well. The carbon plate's only under the forefoot of the shoe, and it's under the foam, which means it can keep quite a low stack without feeling too firm, which is a problem with something like the On Cloud Boom, which is a very firm carbon shoe. Now, the real killer feature of this shoe as a carbon shoe is it's the only one, apart from the On Cloud Flash, to have a carbon plate and be legal on the track, because it's 24mm stack. So I think if I was doing a track race, I'd probably be using the shoe as well in the future, because I don't like spikes very much. Yeah. But I mean, you could probably use spikes if you're used to them. But yeah, so it's quite a novel carbon shoe. It's a little bit different, although I see Asics are launching a massive Vaporfly style one, which Sarah Hall used at the London Marathon. So we'll see what happens there.
So yeah, a really good shoe, and I've really enjoyed running in it this year. So it's one I'd go back to.
Nice one. All right, guys, so that's our shoe rotations for this year. So like I said, we've obviously tested loads of shoes we've really loved this year, and that we could give them shout outs, but it would take forever. This is really the shoes that have made it into our rotation, which really, I think, marks them out as the real best shoes of the year, because we've kept using them when we've got access to pretty much any shoe. So we'd love to hear what your shoe rotations are. Like, do you just use one shoe? Do you use two? Do you use three? And which of our shoes do you like? Which do you hate? And I think that would be lovely to hear from you on that. Other than that, do like, subscribe, ring the little bell on Mike. Oh, he's so angry.
Please ring it.
And yeah, well, and hopefully you had a great year of running. Let us know what you've done this year in terms of PBs as well and which shoes you've used. And we'll see you next time.